come here to hurt me, and I come here to maim you.
That's what I've heard for 7 years. I hurt you. I hurt you.
You might as well go ahead and admit it. You might as well own up to the philosophy for some of you, and that is that life sucks, and then you die.
I doubt you've ever been in a real street fight. By the looks of that pretty face, I don't think you've ever taken a punch before in your life.
Now it's eye for an eye. Now it's you take one of mine and I take two of yours.
You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
It's Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday with Jonathan Hood. WWE, AEW, MLW, NWA, New Japan, the Indies, and more. It's the Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday show with Jonathan Hood.
Glad you're with me here for Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. I'm Jonathan Hood. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at WrestlingTWT. WrestlingTWT for Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. Special interview with Powerhouse Hobbs from All Elite Wrestling, AEW, Rampage, and Dynamite. It's going to come to the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. AEWTix.com for your tickets for any event when AEW comes to your area, including in Chicago for the Wintrust Arena. My conversation with Powerhouse Hobbs as we go and talk about his career and what's to come for AEW right here on Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. AEW Dynamite and Rampage comes to the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Again, get your tickets at AEWTix.com, AEWTix.com this Wednesday. Again, you can always watch AEW Dynamite on TBS, and Powerhouse Hobbs joins me on Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday with me, Jonathan Hood. Hobbs, Jonathan Hood, thanks so much for your time.
Man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So tell me, man, how's life for you right now?
Life is great. I'm like beyond cloud nine. You know, just I'm doing what I want. I'm living my dream. So, and everything is going 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm holding on tight and doing my thing.
So tell me about the state of AEW right now. I mean, people are always overjoyed every Wednesday and Friday and all the big events that AEW has. You could tell that it's getting bigger and bigger as the months go on. So what would you say the state of the company is right now, the way you see it?
The way I personally see it, I think the state of the company is growing every week, just like you said. Every week we're improving. Things are changing and for the better. So I think AEW is changing the whole wrestling business for the better.
So you understand, Willie Hobbs, that you broke the internet last week in Cleveland, right? You understand what you did.
Man, that's what I heard. I broke it, man. It's real OG-ish out there with that fur coat on, huh?
So you gotta tell me, man. Like, listen, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the Midwest, so we have to get in our furs, right? I mean, when you get to the club, you just can't go in regular, as you well know, man. You just can't go in regular. So you have to be able to be unique. You know, the ladies see you and they're like, hey, you know, look at this guy. He's totally different than everybody else in the club. So you are out there with Ricky Starks and Tony Schiavone in that fur, man. Where did you get that?
Man, I can't give all my secrets. I can't do that. You know that. You know how the game go. I can't tell you that.
Come on, man. That's unfortunate, man, because you know people are like, wow. Because it's one thing for you guys to be out of your mind in Cleveland outside doing the promo. That's good. All right, so that stands out. But then what you're wearing, that's what cats need to know. Because, hey, man, all these places in the Midwest where it's cold, they want to be able to wear what you wear. They want to wear what Hobbs wears. You can get that, right?
I can get that. So, I mean, you know, I got my custom overalls on, you know, airbrush. You know, I had the FTWs on, which, you know, had our FTW champion, Absolute Ricky Starks on it, had the headman Taz, had my boy Hook on it, and had my picture on it. So I had to represent my clique. And then, you know, the fur coat, I'm going to give you a little secret.
Okay.
The man, Tony Khan, was like, Willie, go get yourself a fur coat. So that's what I had to do.
So you went to Cleveland's Finest and slid in there before the event and got you something for the promo.
Yeah, but ever since last week when I wore it, I've been wearing it every day.
Are you sleeping in that?
Even out here in Cali, I wear it every day. I walk around my house with it. Kids are looking at me. They trying to try it on. I wore it on the airplane, first class back home. So I'm a star. So
well,
why not?
with or without the coat, people see you in the airport and like, who is that? That's a star, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, that's the old Jim Ross, Bill Watts thing of saying, I need to have someone on my roster in which people will turn their head and say, who is that? And I'm sure you get a lot of that, right?
I do. I actually, at the San Francisco International Airport, I got recognized by a fan and took a picture with him. Then I was stuck taking pictures for about 7-8 minutes. So, it's humbling, but I do love it. And, without the fans, none of this would be possible. So you always got to show love to them no matter whether you're tired or whatever's going on. Because without them, none of this would be possible.
AEW Dynamite.
You always got to show love.
No question. AEW Dynamite and Rampage. It comes to the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. AEWTix.com, AEWTix.com is where you can get your tickets. You can watch Dynamite on TBS. Powerhouse Hobbs joins me, Jonathan Hood, on Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday on ESPN Chicago. So I believe that the faction that you're in, Hobbs, is underrated. I think there's still more to give with Team Taz. What do you think of the faction that you're in?
I love the faction I'm in. We all bring something different to the table. That's what the most interesting thing about being in Team Taz. Ricky Starks has his own flavor. Hook has his own flavor. I got my own flavor. Taz is the mastermind to it. It's like mixing a pot of gumbo. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got your different seasonings and everything in it. So, and it all blends well.
I've been saying this for the last month or so. I think that Layla Hirsch needs to be in Team Taz. Am I wrong about that?
She would add a different flavor to the mix.
Yes, she would. Yes, she would. She
would add a different flavor.
She's cutting her own path, clearly, in AEW. She's decided to do her own thing, and just because she comes across as a shooter, I just think she's tough like the rest of y'all, and it's kind of like, what if, right? I mean, it's one of those what ifs.
She's very tough. She is absolutely tough. But, what happened last time we tried recruiting somebody? You see what happened. So we're dealing with a little situation with Dante Martin. We gotta handle that before anything else.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I understand. I've been watching every week, and I know that you want to straighten him out for sure.
Oh yeah, flatlining, baby.
Yes, I've been watching. Yes, so I saw your comments regarding a former colleague of yours, Big Swole. She was talking about representation in AEW, people of color, African American people in AEW. I saw that. I talked about it on the show. I want to get your thoughts and your reaction to what she had to say, because from her standpoint, she's talking about AEW as saying that we could do better as far as people of color. What do you think of what she had to say?
I only can speak from my own experience. Mm-hmm. I don't know about anybody else's experience in the company. I can tell you from my experience, everything has been really well. I've had ideas that I pitched that worked, ideas that I haven't pitched that haven't worked. But overall, I think the company is very diverse. Like I said before, and there's no secrets out on the internet, Tony Khan has been very fair to me. So I can't speak on anyone else's situation. I only can speak on mine.
Yeah, I think that my initial reaction to it was, we understand that we are not one size fit all, right? And especially in your industry, right? It's like everything is not the same for everyone. Doesn't have the same experience. She feels like there should be an increase in African American wrestlers in AEW and how things can get better. But I think that could be said for any company, that there's always needs to be improvements across the board, whether it's your situation or someone else's, right?
Same thing can be said with Google, with Facebook, any company. So it can be said with any company on this planet. And what I said is what I said, and that was just from my personal experience, and I will back that up 100%, 120,000 million times over and over again.
Mm-hmm. What going back to Team Taz, I want you to tell me what Taz is like to be around.
Man, you just trying to get me to air out all the family business, huh?
Yeah, but because I'm interested.
Man.
I'm interested in your faction, Hobbs. I think that, as I mentioned, I think you guys are underrated. I know that you're making noise, but I expect more in 2022. I'm just wondering, what's he like as a leader?
Taz is great as a leader. There's been times Taz has pulled me aside and be like, "Hey, you're an assassin. You're a killer. I need you to go do this. I need you to go handle that." And that's what I do. You're a longtime wrestling fan, so you know what Taz brought to the table.
Yes.
Throughout his career, and that's what he's been putting into Hook, into Ricky Starks, and to myself is we need to go out and be these assassins, be these killers, because we know what we are, and we just need the world to see what we are.
So, Hobbs, do you remember the first time someone saw you in the ring, whether it was training or in a match, and they gave you a big compliment? Do you remember that first compliment you received from someone in the business?
Yes.
Who was that?
So that first compliment that I got was probably my first day of training in Hayward, California, All Pro Wrestling. It was Roland Alexander. I mean, I took a hell of a turnbuckle, and he popped for it. So it made me feel good.
That's cool. And he pulled you to the side and told you, "Hey, man, you can really do something in this business long term."
Yeah, I've had those conversations with plenty of people.
Who is your biggest influences in the business, past or present?
I've got a lot. So from the very first time I debuted on AEW to now, I have completely done a 180. Everything has changed. You know, Cody Rhodes is a big influence to me. Mark Henry, that I tell him that's my wrestling dad.
Yeah.
I have him in my phone as dad. You got FTR, Arn Anderson, Dustin Rhodes, obviously Taz, Billy Gunn. There's so many people that influence me daily, and so many people I can actually call and get advice from. So it's not just one.
I've worked with Mark Henry on SiriusXM's Busted Open, and he is just a fountain of knowledge. He told me his background. He told me that the late Ernie Ladd pulled him to the side and said, "Hey, man, get on the learning tree. Let's talk. I need you to carry the business for me." You know, and just like he was just so amazed because he was so young in the business. He's like, "Me? You want me to do this?" And so Mark's kind of like that with you guys, apparently.
He is. He let me know. He's like, "Hey, you need to change up the way you look. Stop eating carbs after 5 o'clock." And I've done that, and my body is like switch. One person that I do want to give a shout out that I never actually got to meet, but we've had conversations is the late Hacksaw Butch Reed. I found out he was a fan of myself, and that was enough inspiration right there. And I've had conversations with his son, so that's someone that that I keep in back of my mind that actually I never met, but I've watched as a child, and just knowing that he was a fan of mine, that's a whole lot of inspiration.
That is dope. To know that, because Reed went through it, man. I mean, he went through it. I mean, he went through it, and a guy that to me was meant a lot to the business in the Mid-South. Drew tons of money with Junkyard Dog. That guy is someone that's really about wrestling history. I liked him a lot.
I've had hours of conversations with Tony Khan about Butch Reed in Mid-South.
Mm-hmm.
So Butch is very inspirational to me.
Hobbs, lastly, and I appreciate your time, I want you to tell me something that you'd love to accomplish that you have not yet.
2022, I'm gonna hold some gold this year.
Any title in particular?
I don't know. Haven't pinpointed which title I want to take, but it's gonna be some gold.
Okay. Somebody's gold.
Somebody's.
Okay.
I'm not asking for it. I'm going to take it.
Okay. Is it within your company or elsewhere?
It's within this company.
Okay. Because this crazy forbidden door that you're a part of in this company, I have to ask, because who knows? You can go someplace and just snatch gold from anywhere and just bring it back. I mean,
I'm 6'2", 268 pounds. I can snatch anything I want.
Yeah.
But the plan is to hold some gold in AEW.
You're all that, and with overalls and a fur coat.
Overalls.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody rock no overalls.
I know. Like, you just go to work, every Wednesday, every Friday. You do these shows. You don't realize that the trend that you're setting, man. You're going to be influencing kids. You're going to be having kids wearing what you wear, and it's going to be unbelievable.
Where were we at? I think we might have been in Charlotte,
mm-hmm.
and I saw a couple kids with some overalls on. They were airbrushed. And I was like, oh, damn, okay. Keep this thing rolling.
See? That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, they see you and they're like, you know what? I want to be him. Did you ever think that would be you? Like people point at the screen, kids are impressionable, and they say, man, I want to be Powerhouse Hobbs.
No, I've never thought that, and when I take pictures or I do meet and greets with people, they try to do the snarl like I do,
Yeah.
They try to do it, and it is flattering somewhat. So,
well, don't forget AEW Dynamite and Rampage. It comes to the Wintrust Arena in Chicago this Wednesday. AEWTix.com is where you go, and of course, you can always check out AEW Dynamite on TBS, Rampage on TNT. Powerhouse Hobbs, it has been my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Powerhouse Hobbs, Willie Hobbs, with us on Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. That guy's going places, part of Team Taz, that is for sure. Don't forget, you can find this show on YouTube, youtube.com. Look for Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. And of course, we've got merchandise. We got Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday merchandise. Just click my link tree on Instagram, IGJHood or Wrestling TWT. And also on Twitter at Wrestling TWT. Get the merchandise for Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday. Thanks so much for listening to Tuesday Wrestling Tuesday.